It is time for me to eat, my favorite activity in the world. Hello everyone, my name is Mikey Nakada, half Japanese, half Filipino, living in Brisbane City, Australia, currently 29 years old. For information, not single, kinda gay. It is 3:50 p.m. in Brisbane City, Australia. The date is 12th of October 2022. Currently just trying to test out a different style of a video where I just eat and talk about things that matters to me lately. I work at a manufacturer, medical industry related manufacturer. I'm at a good place in life where I get to comfortably sit down and work at my job. It's a simple 9 to 5. It gets the bills paid and I'm not too unhappy about being there. Although I would like for a little bit of improvement in the environment at work, but it's not too big of a problem, so I can confidently say that I'm probably living the best life right now. But that's because I have a comparison. I often like to complain about my past life. I did that throughout the existence of this channel. I don't think I've had an easy life, and being able to experience that taught me a lot about appreciating what you already have, and that's probably why I feel very fulfilled right now. But unfortunately for some people, this is not something that we share in common. I can confidently say that if all social media stopped existing, if I lose access to internet, I'm probably going to be fine. I think I'll find a different way to entertain myself. As long as I'm with the person that I care about the most and surrounding myself with people that values me over many, I'll still feel like I'm not missing out on much. So if we're looking at it that way, I think I made it. I think I reached a goal that I've been pursuing for so long. So I'm at a stage now to look for a new goal, I guess. But that's not why this video is titled the way it is today. I noticed something. Internet is not what it used to be. When I first joined in on the use of social media, online sphere used to be a very different place. I used to be a heavy user of a website called tumblr.com. The lower you go down the rabbit hole in that website, the more it pollutes you, and it holds onto you too. If you join the surface level communities, it's all positivity and support and everybody's nice, and I really enjoyed that part. But the lower you go, you get into the fandoms and even deeper. There's people talking about things that are just not commonly considered as facts. You'll see a lot of opinions coming from a lot of confident people. I often saw furries on the Tumblr pages, a lot of depressed people, a lot of people who's been speaking out about mental health, and I guess that's what also attracted me to that website. A lot of sad people, a lot of autistic people, a lot of angry people, a lot of politically opinionated people. What Twitter is right now is what Tumblr used to be, except posts were longer, I guess. There's really not that small of a character limit, so yeah, everybody will go off on that website. But from my own experience, all the negative stuff like that, where it's not portrayed online at the time, used to stay on Tumblr or maybe 4chan or just somewhere away from the mainstream social media that everybody seemed to use at the time. And that was all nice, like when you want a place where you can completely open up about your own problems without having to bother your family members or friends, you go on those, I guess, not so mainstream websites and, talk about your feelings, and people will express opinion whether it be good or bad. And you can also get a time off from that by using the mainstream social media, such as, oh, are you okay, Haku? Bless you. Yeah, such as Facebook or, Bebo was for me at the time. Even YouTube comments were pretty tame at the time, although the standards on tame has been shifted by a lot compared to now. Now that I talked about that, let's bring us back to now. Social media is used by almost everyone, from children to grandparents, and it has become a place where I guess everybody's living on different realities online. I wish I could explain that better. It's just year after year of the algorithm showing people what they want to see rather than what actually is. Just the non-stop calculations of keeping people interested. So that kept happening, and eventually we got to the point where we don't even want to talk to people who disagrees with us anymore. When you don't agree with something, or when you feel like something's wrong about that person, the respect is no longer there. It's like a green light to say anything you want, which is not true. Maybe the reason why people feel like they could say anything online is due to anonymity. But anonymity is not a hall pass for your behavior. It bleeds into your life too. It's going to start showing in real life too. You being an asshole online will eventually infect the way you talk to people and how you see people because of the people that you will eventually surround yourself with. No matter how hard you try to cope with the fact that it's fine for us to say all the mean things that we say, the person behind your words are very real. Everybody who's participating in the conversation is real, depending on how many bots there are. But at that point, there's really no point in you arguing with that person anyway if they're a bot. But the people that you're trying to win against, they're people too. I can confidently say, and maybe I'm probably like the rarest bunch of people online who uses social media often, I never partook in that behavior. I always felt uncomfortable about how people are able to say all these things to other people. I can't dissociate myself like that. Mind you, I'm pretty resilient when it comes to what people say about me, but I never found the what's the right word for it? Not courage. I don't want to use courage, but to save time, I'll use a word for now. Yeah, I never had the courage to say stuff like that, to say stuff back. Yeah, maybe it's just a me thing. For years and years, I've avoided playing first-person shooters due to how toxic a competitive game can be. It's just this discomfort I feel every time I hear someone who's talking to a stranger say something mean to them without a justified reason. So those type of trash talking was just not for me. And I feel like that carried over to the online space where we can't seem to express our opinions without having to hurt the other person's feelings. We've lost that respect. Nobody's able to exercise politeness because I guess we invest ourselves in so many different online sphere. It could be that makes people seem so disposable. Like, it's a shame that a YouTuber will have to repeat positive mental attitude to actually achieve that. It's a shame that the default is just pure negativity. We're more motivated to speak up when something you don't like is happening in front of you. It seems like we only leave nice comments when the other person is sad, or maybe it's just the community that I hang around in. I might be a little narrow-minded, I'll admit that, but I tend to hang around in communities where people like to engage in conversations. I recently found a good content creator, and I really liked watching his stuff for a while, due to the fact that he's, I guess, charitable. I like to watch a lot of people who are charitable, whether it be for people that they agree with or disagree with. But I noticed over time that eventually that charitability kind of fades away the more you engage with people who are just maybe there to stir shit up, or it could be that they genuinely believe in something that is wrong, or they could be talking about something correct but they're not expressing it in the most respective way, which is a big shame. It's like the loudest people in this online society either completely forgot how to talk to people or they don't know at all. Sometimes it's people with the burner account, sometimes it's content creators, and when these content creators gets rewarded for being, I guess, unjustifiably disrespectful to a lot of other people, that makes the whole situation worse, and I just don't understand what's going on anymore. So with the content creator I was talking about, he was able to look at the situation charitably and decide whether or not, based on what he has observed, work out who's at fault and who is not at fault, what could be considered into this. And it was really helpful to see that person's perspective. I wish I could find more people like that. But unfortunately, now that he's more involved in the discourse himself, eventually I guess he became a lot more opinionated and very disengaged. Just in case people don't know what I mean by engaged or disengaged, it means to join the conversation. I like people who is getting into these conversations, especially when they disagree with something, but in a way that is respectful to the other people, because I don't know how many people are doing that anymore, at least in front of the camera. But when you do that, it's like the social media punishes you for it, because nobody pays attention to nice things. It's always stuff that makes people angry. And I have my own personal problems too. I've been streaming on more than a couple of platforms for a while now, over 5 years, and the way people behave can be too much sometimes. I've had the pleasure of experiencing what it's like to have a large community, but I quickly realized that that wasn't for me, especially when I've been spoken to by a lot of people at an overwhelming amount. And I didn't enjoy it because the purpose for why I started streaming was a little different from just being an entertainment. I was expecting for like one person to show up and then I'll get to know that person. That person might stay or go, rinse, repeat. Get to know more people, make more friends. That was the plan. But then it just accelerated and it turned into this huge thing where I don't know who's being genuine or not for the longest time. But after, 5+ years, eventually I found out who is actually there for me and who was just there for, I guess, whatever clout I had at the time. And as much as there were a lot of good times that I've had during that experience, there was also a lot that was happening in the background as well, where I had to take care of a situation quietly, or maybe something happened during the stream and I didn't know why. I've encountered so many problems that I couldn't solve because it always ends with the other side giving up. And I'm not innocent in all of this either. I do things that were not exactly considerate because I had low social skills at the time, and in the moment I feel like I'm doing good things or saying the right things. It turns out that offends people or I was being insensitive, and I'm trying to be really careful with that because I don't go online to fight people. I don't want to go on about my own issues for too long. I just want the same respect that you would have for people who's in front of you back into these conversations that we are having online. Is that impossible? I'm trying my best to be an example, but who am I, Like, how many people are paying attention to what I'm doing? I will keep doing it. I will keep being me. I'll keep talking to people like they're people. And I will always try to leave the conversation on a good note. I wish everybody else did the same. Maybe some of them do. That's great. But I wish more people did that. I'm just black-pilled, I guess. I'm just disappointed because I lost this one content creator to all this negativity online. I will not mention names. I don't want to add on to the negativity, but it's a shame. That's the end of the video. If you could please support the series and the channel by leaving a like on this video. If you want to use the comment section, let me know what you feel on this specific topic today. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Please consider checking out the other videos that I do as well. And lastly, don't die. Stay alive. Laugh with me in the next video.